Okay, in this video we are going to finish some wheels, Rock Warriors. So UTRD, Toyota, Landcruiser, 4Runner guys, Tundras, you know what I'm talking about. Rock Warriors are pretty badass wheels. So these ones do not have the traditional silver or gray. This has been redone in Yankee Gold, powder coated and black. So I have another set I want to share with you before we start painting. So another set of Rock Warriors, which I got black. So someone already painted them. So I got them for a discounted price because they were already painted. As you can see, I got lots of wheels. Landcruiser wheels. I think I got about 7 sets in here. So these are them. These are the Rock Warriors. So you could see this one I've sanded down already. So just to show you the prep, and there's the fake bead locker, of course. Comes in silver. So this will have to be epoxied because it's metal, and then painted black satin. But this is the condition of the wheel that I bought. So there's some chips you can see right there. Knocked into some stuff, but that's easy. That'll sand off nice and clean. So maybe 10-15 minutes of light sanding per wheel. And then the wheel, that's a perfect base coat. That's ready to be painted. I'm going to do that in the Dupli color bronze. So it'll be close to that Yankee Gold. Not quite gold, maybe more towards the gray color versus gold. And then we'll refinish these in black. And just to share with you, you know, these wheels, these were chrome, and then I painted it in graphite gunmetal with, or I call it gunmetal, it's actually graphite with Dupli color. These wheels, also Landcruiser wheels, 16-inch, were in such great shape I decided not to paint them. Same thing with those 18-inch, but these were chrome, always in good shape. You just have to prep. Those were chrome, so I had to use 2K epoxy to seal it, just like those Lexus wheels here. Oh, sorry, that was loud. Let me see what I got in here. And in this box, I think I got, yeah, so that's a rare LX 470 wheel. Only came on 2006, 2007. They didn't make very many of them. But this is chromed, and chrome is kind of out right now. So I'm going to epoxy these, refinish them, just like I did that one. So you can start with chrome, but when you do it the right way with an epoxy base coat and then the Dupli color, that's the Dupli color graphite. So I'll finish sanding these down, and then we'll show you painting them, how simple and straightforward with easy light strokes. With the Dupli color, we'll put a couple coats and probably finish it in a flat satin. I don't want it to be too glossy. I want it to be a little bit satinish, satin to flat, just like you saw those Yankee Gold powder coated wheels on the truck. So of course we can go get these powder coated, but powder coating is very expensive. So I wanted to see how close we can get it with the Dupli color. And I've been using Dupli color for quite some time. It does an amazing job. I mean, look at that finish on that wheel. So Dupli color is great to refresh your wheels. And this is just in the garage. I have probably about 16 other sets with tires outside. So got some experience painting these, but let's give them a shot and see how they turn out. All right, we're ready to paint the wheel now. I know that I mentioned that I was going to be painting with Dupli color. Well, I'm not. I'm painting with Spray Max, so I gave them a little color chip from the Yankee Gold, which is actually a prismatic powder coat, and I had them match it so that we can do this in the Spray Max. So I got 4 cans. We'll see. I'm hoping 1 or 2 cans will get this job done, and I have some left over for some other wheels. And then on the bead locker, this is metal, so I'm gonna have to do an epoxy. So I'm gonna seal this one with an epoxy after I clean it really good, sand it down, and then put black, and then I'll use the same satin finish on both the wheels and the bead lockers, and that's the clear satin. So I didn't want to have a gloss. I wanted a very light sheen. And of course, wear your either heavy duty mask here or one of these N95 masks. So let's hit it with the spray. Let me get my can shooken up and ready, and my little trigger. So I got a, you know, instead of using your finger and you'll have an achy finger at the end, I have a little trigger gun that I can put on top of it. So let's get started. So to recap, this wheel has been sanded down first with 1000 and then with 2000 sandpaper, and has been wiped down, you know, thoroughly washed, and get on all the dust and debris off. So it's ready for paint, and let's start. We're going to do a very light initial coat just to make it tacky. Okay, very light. As you can see, I'm going to roll the wheel as I, you know, give it a turn, so you can get every, you know, you want to get the inside here, here, here. So I'm going to have to hit it from that side. So every time you're going to paint, you want to paint from the other side, get the top, roll it, you know, because the top here ends up being the bottom here, right? So just make sure you always hit the tops if you're right-handed or left-handed, whatever you think is best, because when you roll the wheel, again, that is going to end up being on top, and this is going to end up being on the bottom. So you want to get all those shots. All right, let's pause. Let's let that dry a bit. Okay, time for coat number 2. We let that dry for about 10 minutes. Less is more, so that's a second coat, but we're going to be putting probably 4, 5, maybe even 6 coats, very light, as we keep going. So no drips. We're spraying horizontally versus down, so that's always better, and just keep building up the coats. Okay, coat number 3, and you want to make sure you're getting in here, in all these nooks and crannies. So that's why when you turn it, you get a good shot to get in there versus trying to spray up. So let's give it a turn. I'm going to keep doing quarter turns now as I do the coats. Okay, let dry 10 minutes. We'll be back. Coat number 4. So after 4 coats, you want to give it a visual, let it dry a bit, maybe another 10 minutes, and give a visual where you have drier spots and focus on those and give it one final coat. Okay, we're doing 5th and final coat, and I gotta say this match was bang on from my paint store. And just to give you an idea, if I went to go get these powder coated, it would be about $500 for the set. Instead, I got my paint done at a local paint store, no Home Depot or Lowe's. You got to go to a specialty car paint shop. And I had to pay, I got 4 cans because that's a pint, and it was $30 a can. So it's pricey, right? But that's 120 bucks. That's a lot better than the powder coat. And I'll be able to do at least 2 sets of wheels and caps with that versus 1 set. So I think it's worthwhile, and they got this color bang on. And I purchased little color samples from Prismatic powder coating. Yankee Gold is what this color is. All right, let's give it that final coat. And here we're going to be a little bit more liberal, putting more on. Final turn. And there we go. I actually did these ones too between those coats. So when one wheel's drying, you can be doing the other. All right, next is going to be my clear satin. But before I do that, I'm going to let these dry for 48 hours. You don't really need to, but I'm going to. Because I'm going to do the epoxy on the bead lockers. So because the epoxy on the bead lockers, I'm going to be using that same paint. So I want to have those prepped so I can do them at the same time. But looking fantastic. By the way, you could use Dupli color bronze. It's not going to be as gold as this. It's going to be more gray bronze. The difference is here, this paint, that can's amazing. So is Dupli color. I've used it for the graphite. However, there's a lot of pearl in this. That's what they told me. They said got a pretty good deal on them mixing because they had to put a lot of pearl and fleck to match that Yankee Gold. But those are looking sharp. Okay, and for the bead locker, you want to be putting the 2K epoxy. So epoxy primer, and that way the paint could adhere. So I'm going to do this and then an actual black satin on top. Just a light coat and we'll hit it again. We'll let that get tacky. As right down to the very end of the can, but there we go. That's enough for the primer. I'll do a light sand and then put the actual black paint on that. That's just for adhesion. Okay, we're doing the clear now, and what I did is I took some old method boxes, using them as little mini paint booths because the clear spray is very thin. So we're going to spray those, and I added some Landcruiser 80 series wheels. Gonna go, these tires are toast, that's why I didn't cover it here, and these ones are salvageable, so I just put a bit of tape. I wasn't too concerned, but these are the main project, so we'll see how that turns out. And we'll also get our bead lockers here, which are metal, so we did an epoxy, a black, and then the 2K clear. Let's take a look at that 2K clear clamp. All right, this is what we're using, 2K clear satin, where you mix part A and B. All right. Okay, there she is. All finished. TRD, so black with a satin 2K finish on top, and Yankee Gold. Now this is painted. Let's go compare it to my inspiration, which was my powder coated Yankee Gold. So let's get into the sun where you get a better look. All right, so that's, and mind you, that's dirty. And I have, that's the TRD cap. I just put a red sticker, a TRD sticker. I'll show you in a second. So that is powder coated, a little dirty. And that's painted. I think it's pretty bang on and pretty phenomenally done. When you come up close, that's powder coat, and that's a paint match. I think I nailed it. I'm really stoked. Now, if you think about it, powder coating that, because that is Yankee Gold, and then those had to be done in black separately, that's about 600 to 800 bucks. The paint, so let's see, I'm just calculating. I had to get 4 cans mixed. I only really needed a can and a half. So the can and a half is about 40 bucks. And for all 4 wheels, and the black and the 2K, another 20, another 40. So maybe 100 bucks, let's say, to finish my wheels in a 2K paint. The sealant is 2K, the black and the epoxy is 2K. That Yankee Gold is not 2K, but it's still a great mix. So I think it came out great. Let's look at the other wheel on the other side. So that's what I'm talking about. I put the TRD on there. I just had to do a better job gluing it on the other side. And because this is silver, it would just, you know, not look right. So that's got vinyl wrap on it, on the cap with a TRD. That's the powder coat. And that's my paint. And you know, what's not fair here is the paint is cleaner, right? That's got a little bit of brake dust on it, and it did rain like 2 days ago. But if you want to spend a lot of money on your Rock Warriors, go to the powder coater. Get ready to spend 800 bucks. If you want to do it yourself, sand it down, prep it, maybe spending about 100 bucks. And it looks amazing, and that's got a 2K satin. So do not go gloss, go satin. Because I felt like that is satin, and that is satin. But the paint store here in Southern Cal, just message me if you want to know where I went to get that. Did an amazing job. Like, it is bang on, same color. Yankee Gold, I love it. All right, subscribe if you want to see other cool videos. I paint chrome wheels to show you how to do that with an epoxy. You know, step 1, I polish wheels. So check them out. If you want to get your wheels looking fresh and great again, you don't have to go spend on a new set for 2-3 grand. You can take a set that needs to be refinished or your own and just do it right. All right, Cool. So thanks for tuning in, and good luck with your wheel project. And any questions, put it in the comments. I read them and I answer them within 24 hours. All right. Appreciate it. Bye.